Right, so we got a basic cube moving. Let's have a look at it. Right, left, we can use the keys D and A, top, bottom, and Q and E to go to, for the depth. Okay, so we have it going up and down. Now let's give it some physics. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into game object, 3D object. I'm just going to make another cube, cylinder, game, plane. I'll just make another cube. So I've got one more cube there. That's the cube. I'm going to rename it. I can rename it here. I can rename it there. Just call it floor. Floor. I will use this scale tool, this one here. Squash it a bit. Just have a look at it in 2D. Look at it from the top. Just make a bigger plane. So I'll just make it about, let's say, 20, 0.25 and 20. So I've got this cube here, and this other cube, the main cube, I'm going to just put it on top. I'll just take this move tool, move it on top. So there's a move and a scale and rotate as well. I'm just going to move this one on top. So I've got these two objects here. Now this top guy, if I actually add physics to it, and I think I can do it as here, add component, or when it is selected, I can say game object, component, physics, and I can say rigid body. Now when I make it like a rigid body, gravity is automatically ticked on. It will act like a rigid body, something that doesn't go through other objects. Let's have a look at it. Let's see how it behaves. Okay, I need to change my camera. So let's just get out of here for a second. I'll just go into main camera and I'll move my camera a bit up. Yeah, and as I move it, you can see here in the small tiny camera view at the bottom. So that's a bit fine for me to test it. I'll leave my camera there. You can see now it actually falls down. So, and if you can see, I can still slide on it. I can jump, I can move, and I can use my Q and E. I can still move on this floor. Okay, and if I actually go all the way, I'll fall off the floor and die. So there's simple cube movement, physics, gravity. One last thing I'm going to do here now is add some textures to it. So I've saved it in my scenes folder. Okay, I've saved the actual scene in my scenes folder. I'll save it again. My scripts are sitting here in my images folder. Let me drag something. Do I have sand? So let me just go to Google. Now I'll show you something. If I go to google.com, now most of you do this. You go and search for images, but I'll show you how Google will help you to get royalty-free images. So if you search for sand, for example, and you go to images, you can use search tools and you can say usage rights. I want images that are labeled for reuse, labeled for non-commercial reuse, okay? Or non-commercial reuse, yeah. I don't have time to modify it, so let's say, but all of you should be able to modify it. So these are all royalty-free images now. What you see now have been labeled by the author that they can use. And you can do that when you upload things to Picasa or all of these kind of websites. You can label them. So I'm just going to take this one. I just saved this thumbnail actually. And I'm going to save it. Now I know my folder structure, you see. My folder structure was, it was here, IDM. I went to games programming one, the session one, under assets, under images, and wrong spelling, images. I'm going to save this as sand. And let's say I want something like a rivet. just to make a metal block bouncing. Actually, I needed the rivet for the floor, and yeah, I'll use this one for the floor. And maybe use this one for the box. So I've got the images, and you can see they've come here. And let me first go and fix up my spelling here. Can I rename? Ages, that's cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this one, drop it on this guy. Now I just need to see it. I'm clicking the middle mouse button and moving him down. Okay. So I can see this, and you can see automatically a material folder has been created for me. Now when I click on my floor, you can see the shader is here, very similar to your Max. It's too stretched, so I'm just going to use a tile of 10 by 10, and or maybe 4 by 4. You can see now sort of you can see the floor a bit better. It's not exactly a good one. I might use this one. Use that one as 4 by 4. Yeah, there's the floor, and I'll drop this one on the box. So yeah, so this one I will not tile. This one I'll just make it 2 by 2. So I'll just make it 1. There. So I've got a metal box, and so I've got my looks, and let me just go and play it. And now you can see I've got my piece of metal, and as I move it left, I can move up, I can move right, I can move it up, I can move it back, and I can move it up, I can move it front and back, and so on and so forth. So that's another 7-minute addition to the previous video. That's how much was done. If you can recap all of this, if you have missed the earlier class, this is the bare minimum you need to know to proceed. I'll stop this recording now and make this available to you.